Guys, we have another Blake Lively update as she's been called out for a certain situation at a donut shop that has gotten that donut shop in trouble. There's also an old interview that has resurfaced that is causing a lot of people to call her a hypocrite now. Plus, we'll get into what is going on with her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and the things that are being said. Because as we know, this situation just keeps getting messier by the week. Before we get into anything going on there, I want to talk to you guys about something that I've talked to you guys about before, something that I am obsessed with and still am. Lively is being accused of trying to save her image, and it just didn't go well for her. We last talked about how she is trying to dismiss the Justin Baldoni lawsuit against her, and so is her husband Ryan. But it seems with that unlikely, she's been trying to do some image repair on her reputation, and recently she went to a donut shop, which in her eyes was probably a fun little thing to be cute, when in reality things took a negative turn. Last week, Blake surprised fans by working behind the counter at a donut shop in Connecticut. She posted on her story, "Baking with genius food friends and their kitchen mixer the size of a car. This is what my happy place looks like." Articles went around promoting this little surprise appearance. People wrote, "Blake Lively surprises fans by working behind the counter at a Connecticut donut shop. She was in a really happy mood." But things took a turn for the worst when this little surprise ended with the donut shop under investigation because Blake's hair was down in all of these photos. The Wilton Health Department ended up receiving several complaints about Blake working without a hairnet on. People took to the shop's Yelp as well to write, "In Connecticut, food safety hair covering rules are aligned with the FDA food code, which mandates that food employees with direct contact with food must wear hair restraints to prevent contamination. These restraints include hair nets, beard nets, and caps. They must effectively prevent hair from contacting exposed food, clean equipment, utensils, and food contact surfaces. These basic food safety standards are not followed. Recent pictures and video show no one in this establishment follows protocol. Health inspector has been notified." Now, the Yelp page has been temporarily disabled because commenters flooded it with negative reviews after Blake made her cameo appearance there, and her team came out to tell TMZ, "A source close to Blake tells us these so-called complaints are from people who have never been there and who don't even live in Connecticut. Targeting a lovely, small family-owned business is a new low in the retaliation campaign." Now, this isn't the only thing that is getting Blake talked about as of recent, as a interview from her past has come back to bite her, and this isn't even the first time, because we've seen that several times now. She's been seen acting a certain way in interviews, and it's been a turnoff to people. But this time, it's an old interview where she admitted to improvising a scene where she grabbed her co-star Henry Golding's you-know-what during a scene in the movie A Simple Favor. And everyone was calling her out after this because they were saying she was a hypocrite, because she is currently suing Justin Baldoni and saying that he was improvising scenes, and then there's this interview of her saying that she did this improvised scene and grabbed Henry like this. Like, that's not okay and would not have been okay had that happened to her. So people are just like really weirded out that she was saying that this was like an okay thing to do between the two of them, and people are very upset at her for, this coming to light. And when explaining why she improvised this scene, she said that she felt it was something that her character would do. And the director Paul Feig says that he loved Blake's attention here, and Blake joked that it's always awkward to meet someone and immediately ask if you can grab them by the nuts.
Not Blake Lively confessing to grabbing her co-star's nuts because she felt like that's just what her character would do.
Wait, so am I blaming my husband for saying something?
One of my favorite additions that you came up with. I think it's nuts. Yeah, when you really went for it.
That's always awkward. And you're like, "Hey, hi, nice to meet you. Can I grab your nuts?"
But really hard.
It's not because I want to, because I feel like she would.
Remember we kept going like, you kept going, you do it harder.
Yeah, and that was my tip of the hat to baby Jane Hudson.
Yes. Oh.
Spinning on the beach at the end.
Oh, it's so great. And you had a little extra, like, all the little laughs and stuff. It's fantastic.
Aviation American Jen again?
Wow.
Shameless.
Oh my God. I want dividends.
Now, Henry Golding talked about filming intimate scenes in this movie during a 2018 interview, explaining everything was shot on a closed set, and he and his scene partner ran through much of the action before shooting, though they left the door open for some spur-of-the-moment acting. So it seems he wasn't upset by anything improvised here and was actually expecting some scripted moments. But of course, when people just heard the original interview clip come out of Blake talking about the fact that she had improvised this scene, they were just like, okay, that's not really lining up with your lawsuit right now, but it does sound like Henry did have an idea that something was going to be coming. He just didn't know exactly what, but that something was going to be improvised and something was coming. As for the director, Paul Feig, it doesn't surprise me that he loves Blake's input, as he has actively been defending her in this current lawsuit. At the premiere for Another Simple Favor, he was talking about Blake, and it felt like he was sort of maybe throwing some shade at Justin Baldoni with the way that he was talking about loving the fact that she was bringing ideas to the table, and it felt like kind of shade to Justin, accusing Blake of taking over the movie, and Paul kind of being like, what's the issue with that? I love it. I'm embracing it.
You've been so vocal and supportive of everything going on with Blake, everything. Why is it so important for you to kind of stand up for her and be that voice in public?
Because she's amazing. She's amazing. This is my second movie with Blake. I love working with her. She's the most amazing collaborator, so smart. She and Anna are just two of the smartest actors I've ever worked with, who just like to get in there, and we get, every movie star has opinions about what they're doing. I haven't not worked with one who doesn't want to get in there and and work on stuff and make it better with me, and that's our process. And so I love that Blake works that way. I love that Anna works that way, and it's just a great way. It's the only way to work. I'm not a guy who's like, just say it the way I wrote it. No, I don't think good movies come out of that. So
Congratulations. Have fun tonight.
thank you so much.
Thanks.
Paul had previously come to Blake's defense after he saw the New York Times tweet out the article that they wrote about her previous complaint against Justin Baldoni. He wrote, "I've now made 2 movies with Blake, and all I can say is she's one of the most professional, creative, collaborative, talented, and kind people I've ever worked with. She truly did not deserve any of this smear campaign against her. I think it's awful she was put through this." Now, in regards to the lawsuit, as of right now, the new information that's come out, like I mentioned, Blake is trying to get the case thrown out, trying to use a law that protects victims speaking out from getting sued. ABC reported in documents filed in the Southern District of New York on Thursday afternoon, Lively's attorneys cited California Civil Code Section 47.1, a law designed to protect people who report allegations of harassment or discrimination from being sued unless the person making the claims was acting with malice. If the case is dismissed under this law, Baldoni would also be required to pay Lively's legal fees. They also said, the statement added, while Miss Lively has suffered greatly by speaking up and pursuing legal claims, it is important for other people to know that they have protections and that there is a specific law that expressly protects them from being silenced or financially ruined by a defamation lawsuit because they had the courage to speak up. Now, Justin's lawyer are saying that it is in his First Amendment right to drag her into court for making false accusations about him. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, has been speaking to the press, and TMZ wrote this week, Friedman, of course, sees it exactly the opposite way, telling us Miss Lively and her circle of Hollywood elites cannot prevent my client from exercising their constitutional right to petition the court to clear their names from her false and harmful claims. Blake Lively's legal team had also made comments criticizing Justin for building a reputation for supporting victims, yet is trying to take legal action over the rights of victims to speak out. In response, TMZ wrote that his lawyer said, the convoluted statement makes it abundantly clear that Miss Lively and team are rattled and once again resorting to making inflammatory remarks to steer focus away from the actual facts. Clearly, they want to divert the public's attention from the receipts, the actual documents, video footage, and additional evidence shown that make it irrefutable that there was no harassment. It's also surprising that Miss Lively and her team are suddenly speaking so passionately about the hard-won rights of the survivor community, considering she sidestepped this topic for the entirety of the film campaign, focusing instead on her hair care and alcohol products, which at the time caused the organic backlash that she received. She does not need discovery to find out who smeared her. Just a mirror will do. So Brian Friedman, which is Justin's lawyer, is saying, Blake can say all she wants that Justin and team ruined her reputation and that there was this huge smear campaign, but that everything that she did to promote the movie It Ends With Us ruined her image all on her own. That is what he is saying. And I think it's just clear that neither of them are backing down in the situation, and I think we will just have to wait and see how things work out in court, I suppose. But as of right now, that's what's going on between these two, as it doesn't seem like the case is going to get dismissed, and they are both fighting to make sure that they are heard in their own sides. Let me know what you guys think about all of this, plus the donut shop situation and the entire improvised scene situation. Let me know your thoughts